Progressives are furious right now, but what they see is the lack of action on the part of the Democratic Party, considering all that Donald Trump is doing. And I want to turn to a bit of Jon Stewart pressing Hakeem Jeffries, ostensibly a leader among the Democrats, on why they aren't doing and saying more. Take a look.
Where is the Democrats' Project 2025? Is that underway? Is there, everything you're saying feels right to me. The Democrats have to make this point. Where's the infrastructure to do that? And who are the leaders taking charge of that effort?
In terms of how we better communicate with the American people, Maya Angelou said it best. People won't remember what you say. They may not even remember what you do, but they will always remember how you make them feel. And I think what we have to do a better job of is making the American people feel that we understand the pain that they've been in economically for a long period of time.
Okay, so I like that quote from Maya Angelou. And I don't remember exactly what Hakeem Jeffries said there. I don't remember exactly what he did, but I do remember how he made me feel. Really furious, okay? Because I'm gonna need more out of you than that, Hakeem Jeffries. We just need, so Jon Stewart asks, where's your Project 2025? That's a great question. I love that question. Let's spend the next year behind the scenes, in addition to stopping Trump, figuring that out and getting it ready. He also asked you, who are the leaders? Okay, and there's some great potential answers to that. And you just say, they don't need policies. They don't even need speeches. They just want to know that we care. Yeah, but you and your wing of the party have already proven that you can't make people feel like you're hearing them. You don't seem willing to do any of the stuff necessary to make them feel that. So it's such a dodge. There could have been a great conversation, and instead it's just nothing. What do you think?
Yeah, stop using Maya Angelou as a human shield for your fecklessness. Like, you can't hide behind a quote, dog. Like, at least speak in your stupid ass haikus. That's better. Or maybe you shouldn't actually be in power. Maybe you should be a writer, like Maya Angelou. Go write fiction or whatever. Because in the real world here, we need more than how you make us feel. Isn't that all the Democratic Party's been doing? Is just, running on vibes and how people feel like things are getting better, and people feel like you really listen to them and you really care, and people feel like when you kneel in a kente cloth, they might do something about unarmed black people being gunned down by crazed police officers. But in actuality, they're not. They're not doing any of that for anybody. And the reality is, John, they don't have a plan. There is no Project 2025 from the Democratic Party. And I would have so rather heard Hakeem Jeffries, the leader of the House Democrats, to say, you know what, John? We actually don't have a plan. And I think that's something that we need. That would have been so much more like human and real and understandable, and more like, and something that he even just listened to what the question was, John. Because the question was, what is your countervailing vision for the dismantling of the administrative state from the inside?
Yeah, it didn't seem to be a response to the question at all. Like, Project 2025 plan, who are the leaders? The Chinese once said that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time was get the hell out of here with that, Jesus. Like, again, I think communication is super important. I don't think that he's good in that area. Get AOC in there, get Jasmine Crockett in there, get get even a better centrist for a little bit than Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, because this is just not doing it. That said, I wanna just play the next clip. We'll give brief reactions to that too, because this is maybe even more worrying, but take a look at this.
Do you think in your mind now, well, the next time we're fortunate enough to create a message that resonates enough with the American people, and we get a Democratic president there, first, day one, executive order number 1, the government negotiates drug price deals with the drug companies, benefit managers out of the game. Like, we're going to attack this much more directly.
I will say that given the flood of outrageous behavior, extreme behavior,
yes,
thinking about 2028 at this moment for me is a luxury.
Again, I don't remember what he did or said, but I know how I feel. That's a reference to something from prior in the interview that most people won't get if they're watching this later. But I Hakeem Jeffries was making mouth sounds out of his face hole, but I was paying attention to Jon Stewart there because Jon Stewart, again, was very specific. He was on point. Here's what you can do. And Hakeem Jeffries is like, oh, something, so much is going on. And Jon Stewart was doing that laugh that, again, I don't know him, maybe I'm wrong, but that said to me, you're not gonna actually address this, are you? Oh, you're going off on your BS. I teed up something serious and instead, oh, it's premature to think about 2028. Well, hold on a second, because Hakeem Jeffries, you've already made clear you're not thinking about right now. And it's also premature to think about 2028. What are you thinking about? August 2027? Like, is there a particular month that you are actually focused on right now? Because you're the leader. We need you to focus on all of these things simultaneously. And it doesn't seem like he's doing any of it, Francesca.
No, he is too busy going to Silicon Valley, as he did earlier this week, I believe, or over the weekend, and making sure other tech billionaires or millionaires are still gonna donate to the Democratic Party, that they're still gonna be on their side. That's what he did. Instead of understanding that these fools don't need you or want you. Who can deliver better tax breaks? Republicans. Who can grease the wheels so that crypto can do whatever the hell it wants? Republicans. Who can make sure that AI takes over all of our jobs, leaving us with nothing? Republicans, okay? Republicans are throwing down with the 1%. They're on the oligarch side of the class war. They don't want you, Hakeem, but this is the point. These are, and it's not just centrist Democrats. They are corporate Democrats. They don't know anything else. He doesn't know anything else. He doesn't know how to fight. All he cares about is getting those donations to maybe, I don't know, stay in office, I guess. I don't know, or have a lobbying job. I feel you on Jon's laughter. Jon Stewart's laughter, even though I honestly think he should have pressed Hakeem Jeffries a lot more in this interview. I don't like that he's just been talking to like Jen Psaki, but whatever. His laughter sounded a little bit like, I can't believe you're not doing this. But also it could have been a like, I feel you, dog. I mean, honestly, maybe the Democratic Party won't even exist come 2028. And that's where I'm thinking.
Yeah, I get the frustration. I agree. And look, it's an hour-long podcast. Everyone should go in and watch. Like I've been listening to a few episodes of it, and I think it's quite good. Sometimes the guests that he brings on frustrate me a little bit, Jen Psaki and all that.
Do you
but
feel
he's had
he pushed
AOC
back,
on there
though?
recently. I mean, like in the context of a longer conversation, I think that he is repeatedly trying to get him to commit to actually doing more. The issue is that Hakeem Jeffries is just very clear. We're not gonna do anything.
Yeah.
Nothing real. We might send a letter to Elon Musk or whatever, but that's literally all that we're gonna do. And that is again why I've been pushing for a coup. I think that you need to have AOC and Jasmine Crockett and some others say, the American people demand a response. They demand a Democratic Party with an actual pulse, and Hakeem Jeffries and others are stopping that from happening. So at a certain point, your loyalty to your country and your party has to be higher than your loyalty to one guy who's been in charge for 10 minutes or whatever. But we'll see. And also, Jon Stewart, maybe he should run, honestly. And maybe have me on your show. I know it'll be the worst rated episode of your podcast ever because nobody knows who I am, but I think it'll be a great productive
Are you kidding me? You'd be way better than Hakeem Jeffries. And by the way, Jon Stewart should not run for president at all. The reason is that he is actually another elitist. Like he's got good ideas, but he's an elitist. And he's been a celebrity for 30 years now. And I love him. I think he's smart. I think he's great. I love the idea of coming in there with an executive order, but he cannot do the sort of mass movement building. He doesn't have that trust because he's seen too much as a Democratic elite. And that's the sad reality.
You can have him or Newsom. What do you do?
Jon Stewart a million times over, obviously.
I don't know. Newsom's hair is very nice.